For answering the question has expired. Senator McGrath.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Indigenous Affairs, Senator Scullion. Will the Minister advise the Senate how the government is supporting the economic development of Indigenous businesses?
The Minister for Indigenous Affairs, Senator Scullion.
The Senator for the question. The government has a vision for a vibrant and diverse Indigenous business sector. But Indigenous businesses currently only secure a very small amount of government business, far less than 1%, about $6.2 million out of $39 billion in annual spending. There are so many Indigenous companies capable of supplying services to the Commonwealth and winning a much greater share of the government work. So the government has set a target that 3% of Commonwealth contracts will be with Indigenous businesses by 2020. This equates to about 1,500 contracts a year. In dollar terms, this will be around $135 million a year, based on the average contract value of some $90,000. This is a massive increase from the Commonwealth's current Indigenous procurement spend, with the potential to grow is unlimited. For certain Commonwealth contracts, agencies will first have to check whether an Indigenous small or medium enterprise can deliver goods and services on a value-for-money basis before making a general approach to the market. Before making an approach to the market, the Commonwealth has to demonstrate that there are no Indigenous businesses available. Certain larger contracts will also include mandatory minimum Indigenous employer and supplier use. Each minister and each agency head will be accountable for achieving the target, and performance will be published annually for the whole of the Commonwealth and portfolio by portfolio. Whether through direct contracts or part of the supply chain, this policy will ensure that Indigenous businesses are showcasing the products that they have to offer. Indigenous businesses are also more likely to be employers of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people by about a factor of 10. So it's natural that as more Commonwealth procurement is won by Indigenous businesses, more employment opportunities will be created for Indigenous people.
Thank you, Minister. Senator McGrath, a supplementary question.
Yes, Mr President. Will the Minister inform the Senate how Indigenous businesses can take advantage of the government's new Indigenous procurement policy?
Minister.
The government is working with Supply Nation, the Indigenous Chambers of Commerce and Indigenous Business Australia to ensure Indigenous business sector grows. So from the 1st of July, Supply Nation, a not-for-profit organisation, will publish a free and central register of Indigenous businesses. The register will make it easier for government to contact Indigenous businesses about procurement opportunities. This is a list of organisations that previously you had to pay for to access, and reflects our commitment to removing red tape in this important area. The register of Indigenous businesses will contain more information about each supplier and will include businesses that are 50% Indigenous owned. The process for Indigenous businesses to become certified will also be faster and less resource intensive. I take this opportunity to urge all Indigenous businesses to register with Supply Nation. It's free and certainly will be great for engaging their business with the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering the question has expired. Senator McGrath, final supplementary.
Final supplementary, Mr President. Will the Minister advise the Senate how Indigenous businesses can register with Supply Nation, and what are some of the other benefits?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. It's now going to be far easier for Indigenous businesses to register with Supply Nation. You simply go to the Supply Nation website, fill out a form that will include information about your location, the size, your capabilities and what type of businesses you're in. Just enter Supply Nation into your search engine. Of course, Indigenous businesses don't have to source federal government business via the Supply Nation register. However, this register will make it much easier for government procurement officers to contact you. It's streamlined, it's free and, importantly, Mr President, it's publicly available. On that note, I also urge private and non-government organisations to check out the register. You can do business with some great Australian organisations. And why wouldn't you want to do business with an Indigenous organisation? It makes great business sense. There's a huge amount of talent and great practice within the sector.
Thank you, Minister.